Okay, hello everyone. This should be I will teach you in this video how to prepare environmental financial statements. So we're still working on environmental topic. I think this environmental topic is too big, so I'm going to split it into over 2 weeks. So the first one, you have to cover eco-efficiency concept, classification of environmental cost. These are the two theories videos. And then video number 3, I did focus on how to prepare environmental quality cost report. And then this video, which is video 4, how to prepare environmental financial statement. This is according to, again, to the lecture outcomes or the learning outcomes of the topic. And then we are going just to learn how to prepare environmental financial statements. So to prepare environmental financial statements, you have a question on Moodle. By the time you watch this video, as usual, I will upload Moodle with the question about environmental financial statements, for example, the question and the answer, and then the video about the how to prepare environmental financial statement. I think you will find the Moodle page under environmental topic organized that way. So environmental financial statements question, it's always will be a minimum of 3 years. 3 years of data. So you will have some information, some items, and these items, I'm not going to talk about classifying the items at the moment, because it's even from its name, preparing environmental financial statements. So environmental financial statements will be classified into environmental benefits and then environmental costs. When it comes to the environmental costs, this is where we are going to classify the items into prevention, detection, internal and external. But the first part is how to prepare environmental benefits. So to prepare the environmental benefits, we are going to use some of these items. So the type of questions how to prepare environmental financial statements is a minimum of 3 years. The lecture question is covering 3 years. Tutorial question will covering 3 years. When I bring this question in the final exam, it covers 3 years as well. So I will not bring a question that covers 4 years, but the minimum is 3 years. You will know now. You will know why later on. So I give you some items, and these are this particular company, a manufacturing fund, ABC company, provided the following information on environmental cost for 3 years, 2006, 2007, and 2008. In 2004, the company implemented a continuous improvement program. So they implemented the continuous improvement program already over a number of years, and this is the outcome. And this is why we are preparing benefits. If you remember, when we cover the difference between financial accounting and management accounting, financial accounting, we report after the activity or after the transaction happened. And this is what we are going to report at the beginning of the environmental financial statement. So we are covering the benefits first. So giving you some items, and then underneath this kind of table, I give you here some information. At the beginning of 2008, this particular company began a new program of recycling. The effort to produce recycling income of this figure, and also the marketing vice president and environmental management estimated the annual sales to become increased by 1,600,000 in 2000 since 2008. The company finance department also estimated that ABC saved around 640,000 because of reduced finance and insurance. All attributable to improved environmental performance or reduction in environmental cost from 2006 to 2008, attributable to improvement efforts. Furthermore, any reduction represent ongoing saving. To the requirement, first of all, prepare an environmental financial statements for 2008. So you have 2006, 2007, and then 2008. So we are preparing the financial statements for the last year that you got information on. In the cost section, please classify environmental cost by category, which is prevention, detection, internal and external failure. In the benefit section, classify the benefit into three categories: income, current savings, and ongoing savings. Okay, so this is the question. Okay, so to prepare the answer for this question, or to be able to answer this type of question, we'll go to the answer file, and I will explain to you how to prepare the environmental financial statements. So in my answer and the question file, as usual, I put the question and then I started to put the answer. Ignore this at the moment, but I will show you what will the environmental financial statements look like after you finish. So we classify it into environmental benefits. Under environmental benefits, we put income, and then current savings, and then ongoing savings. And then the second part is, and we calculate the total benefits. And then the second part is, we are going to prepare the environmental cost for 2008. I will come back to this later. So to prepare the environmental cost, the environmental financial statements, first two items, recycling income, increased sales. Where I get these figures from? It's already here. If you just have a look, this is the question in front of me. And I have already prepared myself, just kind of planning ahead. This is the 200,000, as you can see. Recycling, the company bring this as a kind of recycling from recycling. This is 200. Let's read again. The effort to produce the recycling income 200, and the marketing vice president, estimated manager estimate the annual sales revenue increased by 1,600,000. So you know now that this 200 recycling income is a copy paste from the question, but from where? From the information that at the bottom of this table. So I give you recycling income and I give you increased sales. So these are copy paste from the question. Remember, after you do all the calculation, please remember to include recycling income and increase the sales under income, because most of the work in this question is related to current savings and ongoing savings. So sometimes the students just get so busy doing all the calculation, when they started to prepare the environmental financial statement, they completely forgot about income. So remember, when we prepare environmental financial statements, you have the first item under environmental benefits is income. Okay? And then there is something called the current savings and something called ongoing savings. Sorry. So what is the difference between these two? As I said, it's already, this is what I mean by the current savings and ongoing savings. Current savings and ongoing savings is that this means the company already implemented a quality improvement program. Okay, when they implemented a quality improvement program over a number of years, that means that the environmental quality costs started to be decreased one year over the other. So this is why we are going to calculate ongoing savings and current savings. So the ongoing savings is the difference between the current savings first is the difference between the last 2 years provided to you. So for example, we are here in a question of we having 2006, 2007, and 2008. So the current savings is the difference, is the figure difference between 2007 and 2008. Ongoing saving is the difference between the first 2 years. This is why I told you this type of question has to be a minimum of 3 years. Again, ongoing saving is the difference between the last 2 years in the question. Current saving is sorry, I've got confused now. Current savings is the result of the difference between the last 2 years in the question. Current, even from its name, current, last 2 years in the question. While ongoing, that means it's still ongoing. So it started from the first 2 years. Let's see how we are going to do that. Here we have a number of items, a number of environmental activities. We can have a look. So the first rule is have a wee look at all items and see whether there is a continuous reduction in the cost or not. So let's have a wee look. Disposing of hazard waste. Yes, it was 1,600,000, become 1,200,000, become 400,000. So that means it's absolutely this item. We are going to include this item under ongoing and the current saving. Look at the second item, which is measuring contaminant release. This item in 2006 was 80, become 350, become 560. So there is no savings here. So I will highlight this one as a whatever color for you to see that this we are not going to include that. Release air pollution, 4 million, 3 million, 2 million, that means a continuous reduction in the cost. Reduce scrap, again, 1,400,000, 1,200,000, 1 million, that's absolutely fine. Operating pollution equipment, 2 million, 1,600,000, 1,040,000, that means there is a continuous reduction in the ongoing and the current savings. Then there is designing the process and the product was 400, become 2 million, 400, 800. That means this item is not causing us or is not clear for ongoing savings or current saving. The costs are increasing. Okay. Using energy was 1,400,000, 1,290,000, and 152. Training employees, 80,000, 160, 320. That means they are increasing. Redemption, 3 million to 2,400,000, 152. It's okay. Inspection process is the same. There was nothing and become 800 and 640. So I give you these items. Before going to do anything with the question, you look at every single item, and because we are dealing now with environmental benefits, okay? With environmental benefits, you have to check. The first rule is check whether there is a continuous savings in the cost that's available to you over the number of years. If there is a continuous savings, that means you are going to include this item under current savings and ongoing savings, and that's it. So this is the first rule for you. Okay, let's go to the answer then. Just bear with me. Okay, we are going to do current savings, ongoing savings, and then the preparing environmental financial statements. The question asks you to prepare environmental financial statements, but I am telling you, it is very important to do it step by step like that, because doing it step by step will minimize the mistakes, especially under final exam situation. So I just prepare a table for current saving, and the current saving, the difference between 2007 and 2008, because I have a question 2006, 2007, 2008. Let's see where I get these figures from. We have environmental activities 2007 and 2008. We have here disposing hazardous waste. Let me see. Let me just double check. Just give me 2 seconds. So we are calculating the current savings. Even from its name, we are going to see how much saving between 2007 and 2008. So we have disposing of hazard waste. Where is the disposing of hazard waste here? Was in 2007, 1,200,000 become 400. That means we have a saving of 800,000. I'm just trying here to take this. Give me 1 second. It's so difficult to work on many files at the same time. Anyway, we keep learning. Our skills for technology went up to the roof. Thanks for Corona. Okay. So here, so to move this. It's okay. It's okay. I think we can manage. Okay. So here is the current savings, 800,000. I hope you can see what I mean. Disposing of hazard waste, 1,400,000 in 2008. That means the difference is 800. Where I get the disposal of hazard waste, it's already from the question, as you can see, the first item. So again, first step, have a wee look at the items and exclude any item that you think there is any continuous reduction in the saving. In the cost. So we include disposing of hazard waste, we including a release of air contamination or pollution, we include reducing scraps, we include operating the pollution, we include using energy. So all you need to do is just copy paste the figure for the last 2 years to calculate the current savings. So it's even self-explanatory how you calculate that. Once you do this, again, this should be the difference between the last 2 years provided to you in the question. And then there is reduced insurance. This is giving to you in the question. It says, sorry, current savings that we have to include it here. Second part is ongoing saving. Ongoing saving, even from its name, the difference between the first 2 years in the question. Basically, it's a copy paste from the same items we used for current savings. Okay, disposing of hazard waste. Disposing of hazard waste was 1,600,000. This is the 1,600,000 in 2006, and then 1,200,000 in 2007. So that means 400. Second item, releasing air pollution, was 4 million, become 3,200,000. It's, as you can see, it's a copy paste from the question. Reducing scrap is the same figure. Operating the pollution, using energy, redemption for cleaning. So it's exactly the same, as long as you decided what items you are going to include on that. Okay, once we finish with this, we have calculated the current savings and ongoing savings. We have to start to prepare the first part of environmental financial statement, which is environmental benefits. Again, to prepare environmental financial statements, you have to it's classified into environmental benefits and environmental costs. The environmental benefits classified into income, current savings, and ongoing savings. I asked you to prepare the current savings at the beginning before going to this, just to make it easier for you. So all you have to do is just kind of copy paste the outcome that you have already calculated. So it's 800,000 for the cost reduction hazard waste. Here is where I get this 800,000 from. This is what you are going to include. This what you are going to include, the last column, or the outcome of the difference between 2007 and 2008. And then we sorry, I don't know what's happening here. And then we should include this in the environmental financial statement. As I said, the first two items of income, which are recycling income and increased sales, these are provided to you in the question. If we just try to remind you here where I got these figures from, you will find them in the information underneath the table. And then you list current savings, and then you list all the current savings, and you list all the ongoing savings, and calculate the total benefits. It might be worthwhile to calculate all the each item of the income, and then you add all the current savings, and then you add all the ongoing savings, and then add the total benefit. And that means by this part we already finished, or we finalized the first part of environmental financial statements, which is preparing the benefit section. And then we are going to move to prepare environmental cost. Environmental costs, which year? Because we have 06, 07, 08. Because we are preparing environmental financial statements for the 2008, that means that the environmental cost that's part of this environmental financial statement has to be for 2008 as well. What we're supposed to do? Just going back now to the items, and we are going to ignore all of that. We are going to ignore all the item that excluding them. We are going to ignore this rule, because these are the items we are going to classify them into prevention, detection, internal and external. It doesn't matter for us which item is increased, which item is decreased, because we reclassify the environmental cost. I hope this point is clear. So for the first part of environmental financial statements, we exclude the items that you think there is no continuous reduction in the cost. But when it comes to prepare environmental cost, leave them, because these items are healthy for some classification, as we know. So for the first part, for the second part, prevention is designing the process and the product, training employees, and under detection, measuring, contaminating release and inspection process, and internal failure, producing scrap, operating pollution equipment. External failure are redemption, using energy, disposing, and all of this you just add all of them together and calculate the total of each category. Okay, and then you suppose after calculating all of that, that means you finish with environmental cost, environmental financial statements. You have benefits, calculated the benefit for the last year of 2008, and you calculated the environmental cost for 2008. In this occasion, when you prepare environmental cost as part of environmental financial statements, we are not going to calculate the percentage to operating environmental cost or anything. We just list the item and just add them. However, if I bring a question like this in the final exam, I'm always asking you to provide comment on the environmental financial statements. Of course, you will not be able to provide comment on the environmental financial statements without comparing between what happened in terms of environmental cost in 2006 and 2008. Because in this occasion, you can prepare environmental costs for the first year, which is 2006. And this is why I put this, the following is optional and is not part of your answer, the financial statements question, but you might have to prepare it to comment on the difference, the first year and the last year. So you prepare environmental cost for 2006, again, based on the same items, and just, you know, figure out a comment on the whole thing. I think by the time you arrive to this video, you will learn how to comment on environmental cost report and environmental, because it's exactly the same as environmental quality report. You have to say that investing more in control activities will reduce the both internal and external activities. And you can compare between prevention in each year, in 2006 and 2008, and you can compare detection in 2006 and 2008, and see what is the effect of both internal and external failure. I think this is a second type of questions related to environmental financial statements. So just to wrap up, we covered so far what does it mean eco-efficiency in video 1, environmental cost categories in video 2, video 3, how to prepare environmental cost report, video 4, environmental financial statements. We can just try to answer a tutorial question about this hopefully next week, because I think I still have to cover how to assign environmental cost to products, and I think I will leave this to other week, because this is too much to be done in 1 week. I hope you understood everything, and definitely we have to train about more questions either in the tutorial, and I will post on Moodle past papers, the questions on environmental financial statements and environmental quality cost report. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.